I wanted to start with some of the trends and some of the key things I see happening in the digital marketing space that you need to be aware of as you kind of start to formulate your strategy, as you start to formulate your plan for the new year. Number one is there's growing popularity in AI, artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, all of these different platforms. Type AI in the comments if you're using AI at some level in your plumbing, HVAC, home service business. Maybe it's the way that you're writing your social posts. Maybe it's the way that you're creating hiring documents. I see Michael's using AI, Slade's doing some stuff with AI, Stark Brothers is working with AI. Yeah, this is a big trend, right? And I think it's going to be super applicable to the plumbing, HVAC, home services space, not necessarily in the field actually doing the work, but in terms of how you market yourself, in terms of how you book your jobs, in terms of how you get more flexible with your pricing and arrangements. This is huge. The other thing that's happening with AI from a marketing perspective is to this point, over the last decade, the number one place customers look when they need your services, what? Let me know in the comments here what you think it is. I know you guys all know this right off the top of your head, but the number one place is typically Google, right? They're going to Google and they're typing in AC service, plumbing company near me, plumber in your town, right? That's where they have gone. That's where they've been going. But with more and more people liking the feedback they're getting from ChatGPT and other AI platforms like that, there's been a little bit of a shift towards Bing, because Bing has ChatGPT search results baked into it. And so we want to make sure we're also thinking about Bing, and potentially even down the track from there, people using ChatGPT directly for their search results. If you search right now for plumber near you or AC contractor in your town on ChatGPT, it will give you results. They're not very good, right? And it's not very relevant. So for local search, it's not there yet, but it is a trend to absolutely be aware of. And we want to be thinking about Bing. We want to be thinking about those other AI engines that people are using to extract value and to get information. So that's trend number one. Trend number two is online scheduling. This isn't really even a new trend, but it's essential in 2025 that you're thinking about how you remove the obstacles for your customers to be able to schedule in with you. It used to be, well, we're looking like the last 3 to 5 years, somebody gets to your website. What's the number one way they want to convert? Over the last 3 to 5 years. What is the one thing that you're optimizing your marketing around? Let me know in the comments if you have an idea what you think it is. I'll just call it out. It's the phone, right? We all want more phone calls, right? We want them to get to the website. We want them to hit the call now button or actually pick up the phone and call. All of our marketing over the last 3 to 5 years has been around the phone call. But there is a new trend and there is a complete shift happening. Already happened, but it's really important that you're aware of it and you're doing something about it in 2025 and beyond. Is your customer, if they've got the opportunity to start a two-way text message and schedule their service, or if they've got the ability to book a time directly online and not have to call your office, not have to talk to the lady, not have to wait 35 minutes, they're taking that option. There's this complete transition from people wanting to call to wanting to text, and a transition from wanting to talk to somebody to just scheduling. Like, think about right now, type Uber if you're using Uber or Lyft whenever you need a ride somewhere every now and then, or if you're using Uber to pick up your groceries, or you're using Uber to deliver your food. Somebody type Uber in, because there's a major shift that's happened with that whole way that people get the things that they want. Are you guys still there? Are you hearing me okay? Somebody give me a 1 in the chat. I just want to make sure my audio is coming through, because I know we've got about 20 of you, but I'm not. Okay, Michael Smith is with me. So your customer is used to going to Uber and saying, hey, I want food to show up. I want a hamburger and French fries. And they push the button and the hamburger and French fries shows up. And they're expecting that with their home service providers. They're expecting that in every aspect of their life. And so if you are not giving them the option to pick a time and a date to schedule their service call, you're creating more friction, right? Which is pushing them to the competition. It's pushing them to hit the back button and find somebody that maybe will give them the option to schedule directly online. And this technology exists. It's readily available. And so this is a trend you want to be paying close attention to. Number 3 is two-way text messaging. Again, very similar to the whole online booking, but if they've got the opportunity to text with you versus to have to call into the office and have a conversation, your customers 6 out of 10 times are going to choose to text message. And so you want to make sure you've got a platform in place where people can schedule online, or they can have a two-way text message to ask a couple questions, get some answers, and get their problem solved and scheduled. So having a text us now button on your website that literally starts a two-way text message is a huge trend that reduces friction and is going to improve your conversion rates, making your cost per lead and your marketing efficiency better in 2025 and beyond. Number 4, and I think this is a new trend, and this is something that is available now, but you should be focused on, is AI lead follow-up. We all know that speed to lead is the name of the game, right? Somebody calls into the office or they send in that form requesting information. The speed at which they can get the call scheduled is like the answer, right? So it used to be we want to have a sales team standing by that can take that inbound call and schedule it right on the call, or somebody that gets the form and is available to follow up in 2 minutes or less. Well, technology now exists with AI that we can make sure that every call gets answered in like 30 seconds or less, that every request gets followed up within 30 seconds or less, and that we're following up diligently via email, via text message, via different platforms through automation. So without having to have an army of salespeople to answer your calls and schedule your dispatch and keep on top of things, that technology now exists. And the other really important component, yes, like right now, somebody starts a chat on your website. Typically, it's going to be somebody on your team or on a third-party service that's standing by. Hey, they started a chat. Hey, how can I help you? What questions do you have today? Question mark. And there's either a high cost or a delay in the follow-up. AI now is pretty smart. They can understand the question. They can understand the context. They can actually have direct access to your scheduling. They can have direct access to like the questions that are coming up most frequently in your booking process. And AI can start and manage that process from question to scheduled call. They can do that via text, but now the technology also exists where AI voice can answer the call, can have a two-way conversation, and start to schedule in meetings and dispatch calls for your company. I know that some of that feels like, oh, that's a ways out. I'm going to show you a demo of how that technology looks today. But just be aware, right? If you're sending inbound calls to a voicemail today after hours, that's costing you money, right? And if you can put an AI voice on the other side that can answer that call, that can have an intelligent conversation, it can actually soft schedule that person, they're happy, right? Because they've got their problem solved. You're happy because you've got a booked job and your marketing efficiency is better. The last trend I want to talk about, the trend number 5 in 2025, is authentic video, right? And so we've talked a lot about how AI is a super important trend that we want to be paying attention to in 2025. But it also means the content that we put out on our website, on our blog, on our social profiles, AI is more involved in the creation of that content. The cost to produce that content is lower than ever, and it's going to become flooded. All of the plumbing, HVAC, electrical, home service websites are going to be flooded with content. The most distinctive thing you can create to make your home service company stand out is authentic video. So if you're not doing video today, now's your time to say, hey, I'm going to start to create videos about our services on our home services pages. And if you were a super tech, as I would call it, can be tasked with, as you go out on job sites, at least once or twice a day, create a video that you can load onto your social profiles, that you can load into your website. That is pretty much the only thing that's going to make you stand out from the competition in terms of the content that you're rolling out. And so just type video if you can be one of those companies that could be a little bit ahead of the curve, a little bit more aggressive, and really stand out in today's marketplace. So those are the 5 trends. We're going to get into the planning process now, but I just wanted to kind of walk you through some of the things I'm seeing and some of the things we see on the horizon coming into 2025.